4th of July, just 3 days away. You're going out to see that big fireworks display, right? You take the kids out and you want to make some wonderful memories, and you go, how do I take a picture in the dark of these things going off? And did it work? Have you guys tried that before?
Yeah.
Has it worked?
Blurry.
Is that okay?
And you get a lot of smoke. You don't really get the...
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things I'm going to tell you. Location, location, location. Some of the things you're going to need to do it, and then the settings your camera should be on. Here's a couple that I went out and did, and it's super easy to do. I'm telling you, we'll put these instructions on our website. I promise you that if you go out and do what I say, you'll get these every single time.
With no retouching?
No, not at all. This is just straight away right out of the camera.
Oh my gosh.
Very wonderful stuff to have. It's great, right? It's pretty stuff to have.
Well, we want to have photos like yours. Is there a certain, like I noticed you have a tripod there. Do we need to bring one of those?
Yes. The first thing you're going to need is you will need a tripod. Let me do this first. Let's start off with location. Okay. The first thing you want to do is you want to be in a good spot. Notice the picture here on the left side of the screen. I went to a place the first time out going, hey, I'm all set up. I think I know where it's going to be. It's going to come right here. And it was shifted, and I was in the wrong spot, and the entire fireworks display was behind a tree and a light post.
No.
So the whole year was lost, so I got a little smarter. This one, actually, this was in Dubai, and it happened to go off in my hotel. I was in my hotel room.
Excuse me.
I was on assignment. I was working. Exactly.
Okay.
And I was having wonderful room service, but what's really nice is this shows you how you can frame this to give this perspective. So when you're shooting, if you just shoot into darkness, you kind of lose the effect, but you can see the buildings. It sets the size to this. Okay, let's get back to some of the things you're going to need, okay? We want to talk about, you mentioned tripod. You absolutely, positively have to have this sitting on a tripod. They don't have to be expensive because your camera cannot move at all or they'll blur.
That's why we get the bad photos.
And you can find a simple, you can even do something as small as this. Can you see this up? Is there a good shot of this?
What is that?
This is a tripod. You screw. It can be itty bitty. These are $5.
You have to put it on a table.
You could put it on a table, a cinder block wall. You could even set it on the ground if you wanted to.
Or your car, the top of your car.
You could set, as long as nobody's moving your car, it doesn't move. You know, I mean, people lean up against it. Any little movement will cause vibration, and that won't work. You'll need a camera. You don't need a fancy camera. You know, I brought my fancy camera here, and I've got the shutter release cable.
It's a very fancy camera. It has a red leather, so it's very fancy.
You know, isn't it? It's like racing.
Do you mean to tell me, though, with a regular point and shoot that small, I'll still be able to get pictures like you did?
Yes, you will. Here's what I want to tell you. You don't, because you don't have a shutter release. The reason for that is if you push the button, you kind of shake the camera ever a little bit. So what I want you to do is set it on, you want to first of all put on manual focus, because your camera, if it's on auto, is going to look into the sky. It's going to try to focus on something that's not there. So you want to put it on manual focus, and you want to set it at infinity if you have a lens like this. And infinity has a little 8 sign. I don't know if I can show this to Mikey on this, if you can come in. But you see the infinity on the lens here, Mikey. It's real close. But it's right there where my finger is. It looks like the number 8.
Yes.
That means anything from near to far will be in focus. Okay, it's infinity.
Okay.
The other thing is that you want to keep in mind is if you don't have a shutter release, set your timer to go off, and you can hold a piece of cardboard in front of the lens. When the lens clicks open, you can do this and become a manual and cover it back up. That makes sense?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right.
That's interesting.
Here's the settings that I want you to have. You can see it on the screen. You want to be in a manual mode when you photograph something, and meaning you have to have your camera setting at a manual, not on auto or anything like that. You can go into manual or bulb setting. You want to set it to your ISO at 100. Again, I'm going to put this all on our website. So you set a little M, that's right there, or B. And all these cameras, these point and shoots, all have them. I'm just not taking it off of here because I'm using this. You want to set it at ISO 100. You want to set your aperture at about a 5.6. That's all. Just get to know your camera a little bit. And put it about 2 seconds. And I can promise you, you're going to have wonderful photos when all comes out. I have a few other ones up here. Some that are overexposed. I'm going to just give you a quick tip.
Wow.
This is an overexposed shot, which means the shutter was open too long.
Yeah.
This is underexposed, it wasn't open long enough. So the 2 seconds for your shutter speed, if it gets too overexposed, you want to make it a second. If it's too dark, let it go for about 5 seconds and just play with it.
All right, so you can explain all of that. Now you can use that, what you're saying, the setting for any camera that you have. Any camera, okay.
An experiment, it's free. Processing is free.
But you can't do it on an iPhone.
You cannot do it on an iPhone because you need to have manual control. A lot of people make that mistake.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Last year I made that mistake.
Very frustrating to have. Again, all this stuff is on our site, but go check. Just go out and do it because you know you get these wonderful memories that you get to have with your family. Yes, you in the front row.
I have a better idea. Why don't you come with us to watch the fireworks and you can take.
And then I can take that.
Yes,
Oh, that sounds like just a horrible idea.
Okay. Okay.
But I would love to see your efforts, and we can talk. Send some in. If it didn't work out, we can maybe figure out why it didn't. But share your fourth with us.